All right. Let's do an evening stream. Hello, ABC. How are you? Do a very, I'm not even gonna announce this stream on Discord. I'm just gonna try to fix a bug. Hello, scientist. How you doing? Hello, Armadan. How you going? Never first. Good times though. Lights, please. Come on. There we go. Right. So yeah. There's a bug. There's a bug. Hello, Pepper. Thank you so much. How you doing? How you doing, Pepper? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's very nice. Hello, Wiry. Yeah. There's a bug. I gotta do something about it, man. There's a bug. There's a bug and I have to deal with it. There we go. Right. Yeah, it's kind of evening here. The thing I wish I had was more granular control over the lights with remotes. But, you know, what can you do? What can you do? Not a lot, it turns out, but they are. All right. So what are we doing this evening? I am going to fix that reflection there. I made it worse. I'm gonna fix a bug. I'm gonna try to fix a bug, but I wonder if this thing is actually deeper in the mess than it should be. Yeah, sorry, I got taken back by my own example here. Lily, I made this example after a bunny who loved apples. Anyway, so there is a bug. There's a bug, and I managed to replicate the bug in here, and I'm hoping to fix this. And I think this is the last bug, but the bug is so bad. Hello, Brian, how you going? The bug is so frustrating rather than bad. And I did sort of a slapdash solve for this thing, right? And I think maybe it wasn't really that good. So I wonder if I'm gonna... What should I do to fix it? That is the question. Also, this shouldn't build. Not yet implemented, yeah. Ooh, also, how does that work? The parents here, this secondary map shouldn't work, but it does. Okay. Oh, right. It doesn't work because I've taken this out, right? That's why. So, okay. Right. What do we have? We have a tree. We have a tree. I saw your video, by the way, scientist. So you're positive. I think it was like yesterday. Someone told me you had like a YouTube channel, so I subscribed to your channel. It's the only channel I'm subscribed to. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Thank you so much. It's hard, the YouTube grind, right? I've been thinking for days about making a video. I've worked on a video for weeks only to throw it away in the end because I didn't like it. And I'm just saying, I was talking to my brother earlier today and I was like, do you have any ideas for videos? But it's really hard to talk about this with people who don't really make videos or are into that because they don't see things the same way. So he had like ideas about like esoteric parts around programming, and I'm like, yeah, but I gotta be able to back this up with facts and sources, right? I mean, you don't have to. You can just say, oh, you know, if you program and you stop using if statements, your code quality will go up with 35%. You can say some BS like that and then not back it up with anything. No research, no reference, no nothing. And it's fine. You make a video where you say, okay, this is how you make Hello World in Rust. You go cargo new, bam, you're done. You run it. You can see Hello World. People can look at it and be like, yeah, all right, I'll run this thing. It's Hello World. You're done, right? You don't need to verify it. But when you get into like this esoteric stuff, you kind of have to back it up with something if you want any kind of credibility, right? And people don't think about this. So I'm looking for something to make a video about, but I'm just not finding anything, right? I have more followers on YouTube, but more interaction on Twitch. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I sit here and I agree with you, okay? Let's see how I am doing in the YouTube game, shall we, okay? I'm sitting here agreeing. Let's see what my YouTube game is. What is it? A bit of Rust, okay? So I got... isn't it? No, it's a bunch of Rust. Idiot. Okay. Maybe I should have had a bit of Rust then. There you go. 522 subscribers, okay? Okay. So, you know, maybe I shouldn't sit here and not agree with you because my YouTube game is weak, okay? It's weak. I need to fix it. Oh yeah, totally Grumpus, bro. All right. Let's totally. But could you tell me how you're stuck, right? And how long you've been stuck? Are you stuck on a specific problem, or are you stuck? And so what are you stuck on, and how long have you been stuck for? Yeah, I haven't done videos in a long time, but when I used to make videos, I always find it hard to think of ideas to make videos. Yeah, that's fair enough. So I did this. I did this yesterday, okay? I wrote a post yesterday, and I'll share this with you. It's not that it's exciting or I want you to read it. I think this will be of no interest to you until you need it. And that was how to set up a personal Crates repository using Git, all right? Let me just drop this thing in the chat. I don't think anyone needs to read this now. But remember this, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you want to do this, right? You want to set up your own Git repository instead of using Crates.io. And the reason you might want to do this is maybe you're working for an organization that is working predominantly offline. Everything's very vetted and such. And you want to use Rust. So you probably already have version control in there. You have your own private Git in the organization, on your intranet or whatever. You can do this. And it's really, really simple, right? This is the crate that we're going to have to add something in there. We don't really care about this code. This is just starting us off saying, this is so we have a crate we can use, all right? This is all that we really need to read. Create the registry, all right? This is all you have to do, okay? You create a GitHub repository, a Git repository, not synonymous, right? You add your config.json that looks a bit like this. You add the crate name, which is the crate greeter up here, right? You add the crate name as an index file, and then the crate file itself, which you get from running cargo package, right? It's all in here. And then you commit this stuff. And that's kind of it, right? This is just how you should format things and talking about the files. You have to read through this stuff, right? If you're going to do this, you really have to read all of this. But it took me 5 hours to mess around with the documentation to get there. And then to use it, you just add this registry to your cargo config in your project or in your home cargo config. And when you add a dependency, you include your registry, right? And that's it. So here's some sources, which apparently didn't turn out to be links. So I should probably fix that. But really isn't more than that. But if you go and read about how to do this in the cargo book, it definitely isn't that simple. All right. What do you think of Electron.js for desktop development? I don't know. It works, I guess. Yes, so there are third-party solutions you can have, but if you just need to set something up, you just want to try Rust or whatever. I'm not sure why you would set this up if you want to try Rust, but the thing is, I don't think that the documentation was very easy. I mean, it doesn't help when you're streaming this stuff either, because of course you're constantly yapping and whatever, right? But yeah, man, it was a slog. It was a slog doing this. All right, fine. Yeah, so there are definitely third-party solutions you can install and run as well, but that requires more work. All right, you can even have it so you can publish your packages to some self-hosted thing, right? It's very cool, but again, it requires a lot more effort. And if there's you and 2 other sweaty nerds in your organization, private Git, you want to do a bit of Rust, this works. Or you don't have to rope in that one guy who does all the DevOps stuff and he's got a black belt and complaining. He's gonna get angry with you for, whatever. I am doing a lot of streaming at the moment, friendo. Okay. So what do we have? What do we have here, right? I think rather than trying to shoehorn in a solution for this thing, I think I'm going to undo the solution that I did and see if we can kind of make this a little bit simpler, a little bit different. So we're going to go back to secondary map and we're going to undo the work that I did here, right, with the Gen slab. All right, I thought that was a good idea. I don't think it is a good idea anymore. Let's get rid of that as well. So now the secondary map is not gonna, as a matter of fact, can we do a diff on this thing? Let's see what this looks like. Path parsing is so good. Nice one, nice one. Gen's lab. I don't know what Gen's lab is though. It's confusing. Yeah. Oh, he did he? Cool. I think should we have a quick look? Let's have a quick look then. That is not him. Oh, that is not path parsing though. Are you guys sure? Yeah, Lox does not use, Lox is top down. All right, let me make sure that he didn't deviate. Let me make sure he didn't. Yeah, okay, he used path parsing. Okay. So this book, you guys know about this book, of course, right? This book is amazing. You can read it for free online. So lexing single character tokens, this should just be a match statement over a car. Hello, runtime. Yeah, I guess he's already done the lexing at this point. All right, so. Yeah, all right, so. This is like one of the. This is like one of the things you do in Rust that is just so fantastic to write. The single line match arm, which is just great when it comes to doing things like lexing and parsing, right? Right, so we're doing lexing. Okay, so he's bothering with that. And then multi-character. I am hoping to see, right, when it comes to multi-character, that we simply do an option. We pick the next character and we do this over an option to do multi-line. Let's see what his take is. Let's see where we get to the multi-character. See, this ident thing really did me in. Hello, cat peasant, how you doing? He doesn't do that? Alright. Oh no, I just popped on. Did you allow me doing this? I have no idea. I have never registered for a university course. Because the idents actually can be more things, but he's gonna end up in there as well. Oh, show me some of the parsing stuff. I can probably spot this here, no? So he did the Carsten next. Car indices? No. Yes, okay. So that's how he's gonna do it. Got it. So let's see. Oh man, I don't really see. Can we do? Does this work? This isn't really helping to find. That just seem to be the tokens themselves. I want to see how I did his like multi-token stuff. Yeah, he's somewhere else now. Started number. Is it lexing with a state machine? Let's do. I don't know why I'm banning these people. It's probably not their accounts, right? Okay, I'm just gonna block the term viewers today. So that's all right. I'm sure people don't care. There we go. Haha, too late. Okay, so let's have a look at the pret parser stuff. Indeed, all right. So building your own interpreter, where does this come from? Code creates IO. Oh, it's a course thing. Why is he using these the lifetime? Is this makes me think of deserialized from 30, right? Why would you get the 4K version of it? Oh, I see. So he's using a visitor. Gotcha. Okay. Can I see that? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this whole video, right? But visitor. So interesting though, right? So a visitor pattern is really useful, right? So when you need to do things, like say for instance, you need to traverse a tree, and the way you might think about this is, okay, so I need to have some way of iterating over the values or over the tree structure in some form or other, and I will start by getting the root node, and then I get all the children, and then I have to get all the children's children. But instead of thinking about you pulling data out of the tree, you can think of the visitor as something that you send into the tree. They will just go and visit every node in the tree. So this means that you're not iterating over the tree as such, right? You're not getting nodes and doing some very annoying, complicated stuff with iterators. Instead, you're just having a mutable reference to something. You say, go and visit every node in the tree, right? And we have this as something called a pathfinder, and we have, which will find a path in the tree, and we have something called a node visitor, which has a couple of different ways that it can act, but one of them is to visit all the nodes in the tree. We used this as for an experiment a couple of streams ago, where we wanted to find all the components in the tree, or rather, we had a component, we wanted to find the next one, so we applied the tree visitor. But it turns out that visiting all the nodes in a large tree is, unsurprisingly, going to be a lot more expensive than if we just take a small portion of components and store them in a separate structure. If the tree is large but the component count is small, then this becomes expensive, and that's kind of more likely what you're looking at when you're building things. Is the more common scenario with Anathema. Every time you make a choice, you close a few doors, right? So you decide to do it in this way, now you lose performance in these edge cases, right? Which is why it's so confusing to talk about performance. But all right, don't do this, don't do that, right? All these hand-wavy rules that we throw around, they don't make any sense, because everything is entirely driven by context and the situation, right? And you tend to just program for the most presumed common case scenario, right? When you program, which is why it sometimes doesn't even make sense to talk about big O notation, right? I've done other things, Dawson, but I don't do a lot of it. I poked at Gleam with a stick. I've done SIG years ago. I did Gleam, I just said that. I spent a few hours with C++ the other day. I'm guessing you were there then, right? Written version of the explanation lives. Is this OP slang for treefold? Can someone tell me what the link to the Gamedel site is? Yes, it's gamedel.wtf, right? Let me get it for you. Oh. No. Gamedel. There you go. No, not medal. There we go. And the one that we normally play on stream is Gameduel Classic, although we've already played that one today. So if someone redeemed Gameduel, let's have a look. Did someone redeem a Gameduel? Okay, no. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so the bug, the ferocious bug is still hanging around. So we're gonna change this thing to slab index. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna do a G checkout. Can we do that? Whoops. Secondary. So G checkout secondary. No, okay. You know what? My shell is better than you. Are they the same? All right. Anyway, secondary map. I'm in the wrong place. That's why. That's why. All right. So the second thing, I don't want this. I do not want this function. This function is large and in charge of being deleted. There we go, right? We want to get rid of that. Okay, so what about this thing? Then the key here. On. Almost get it. I was Mrs. Australia video on it in C++, JS and Rust. The visitor pattern? Oh, I don't know how active Striker is though these days. I heard he got a job and then he decided to be doing that instead, right? Now this is interesting. Why isn't this working? This is pointing to a slab. A slab is a function called insert at. Oh, hang on. Did I? Oh, I took the wrong one. Git checkout. Oh, God. Basic. There we go, right? Yeah. Oh, he became CTO somewhere, didn't he? Oh, the game. I think I've done it. Yeah, we must have done a game today. Okay, so we unrolled all that stuff, but the problem still remains. So the reason I went with the secondary map being backed by generational slabs might have seemed like a good idea, but after all, it wasn't, because we need to store we're gonna write a little note here. The reason this is not using a gen slab the key size for the gen slab is 64 bits, whereas the basic slab can make do with 32 bits. This means we can store the generation when needed as part of the value instead. There we go. Traduality. All right, there you go. I am CEO and founder of... this Dottie, you're the reason. You keep finding these bugs and I gotta fix them. And if I'm not streaming, then I'm just talking to myself and that makes me a crazy person. Crazy. Alright. So, okay, now we can go back to our runtime and make this. Yes. Okay. Can go back to runtime and make this part of that beautiful mess. Clean up. So the attribute storage needs to have a special function for try remove. Now we have to make the generation public, but we already did that. Although I might have just unrolled that, so we can maybe put that back, shall we? Where's the key? There you are. No, that's public. We're good. That's the demographic though, Mouse. Okay. So what are we missing for this thing to work? We need to go here and slab and then pub use the key. Okay, that's there. So why, pray tell, is that not working? You know what? We have too many things. Too many things going for us here. Too dodgy, too sketchy. You know, why is this? We can clearly get it from here. Old keyboard habits die hard with a vengeance. All right, slab. It's there. It's public. What do you want from me, you ghoul? Oh, no, shape. The key is public. The generation is not. The mistakes that were made. All right, since we made it public, we now have to document this thing. So, a generation associated with a key. The generation is used to track to ensure that the same key can be reused without retaining a reference. A reference to all data. Yeah. So now this try remove should take a widget ID. What did this used to say? Yeah, do streaming is fun, Dawson, but I would definitely say that it's something that can be a time sink. So you should definitely make sure you have time for it, right? You should make sure that there is time to do the thing you want to do, right? So how does this work? What did this used to say? All right, we're gonna go to Git. We're gonna go to Firefox, GitHub.com, I can spell. But I can't find the full stop. There we go. Should I just throw the microphone away? We all know that's the reason I can't write. Wasn't it 18? Are you going the wrong direction? First try. All right, runtime. There you are. I wonder if we had the cleanup code in this branch. So I cannot find anything of oh, this thing sucks. I hate this thing with a passion. All right, let's go back to widgets. There you are. Let's have a look inside widgets module. Good thing I know where things are, right? Secondary map widget ID. The key is a widget ID. So this is floating widgets. So key will do try remove of a key, but this drain removed is not going to return. Is it going to return the wrong thing then, right? Need some, we do, Nick, we do. But for that, we have to invent a new protocol because that's how we roll, okay? That's how this gonna go down. We're gonna invent a new protocol, and then we can talk about what we do in terms of you know, TTS. Okay, so this secondary map is gonna be depending on a regular slab. All right. Yeah. So here we're gonna get a widget ID, and we're gonna do, because the widget ID is gonna translate into an index. That's why this works. We also need to store the generation, but why would this thing then fail? So let's go look at the attribute storage here then, which we can find in widget attributes. Secondary map. Try remove widget ID is widget ID. How? These aren't widget. They are widget IDs, aren't they? Ah, good old Ben. Floating widgets. We can maybe skip that one. And this one, we do not need that one for. Okay, so then finally we can get in here. We can do a try remove here. But before we can do a try remove, we'll add a remove with. And is this going to be some dumbassery? Why, yes, it is. I think we should go with remove if here, okay? I like that. So we're going to pass in a function here. I don't know what that is yet. What's at 0 then? It's a slab. Well, then we have to move you to the slab. There we go. Is that really the right thing? Yes, yes, this is what we're gonna do. No, come back here. Okay, so then this remove if as part of the secondary map, it's gonna be that. Um, You know, Rebel, that took me longer than I care to admit to get what you meant. Okay. How you doing? Good evening. We don't know what the index is. Yeah, we do. Oh, really? Okay. So you're gonna make me add another argument for that, then, are you? All right, let's not do that. Okay. So what's the issue here? Well, I guess we can do this. Oh, we're gonna come back to this thing. And what we really want to do, so to be able to actually use this, we're gonna unpack this a little bit, because the closure, the generic here doesn't actually make sense. So we want to get the old value. I'm gonna match the old value, and we actually have to look at the val here. Let's pass in the index while we're at it. Let's do that. So really, yes, really. This thing is gonna change. So we're gonna get the value, and then if f val, or if not, no, the cable keeps going in there, right? That's how we do it. So really, this thing does not need I, but V, yeah? Is it V? No, it's T, you laugh. And also, you can settle for a reference. Yeah, a reference will suffice. Where this guy returns a bool. That is boolatively topic. That was words. All right. Okay. So now we can run that thing with the value, so we can check the generation, which is stored as part of the value instead, saving us from having to waste 32 bits for every place where we don't need this. Complete nonsense. Just so you know, I do not care about those 32 bits, but we're getting them for free. So okay, so that's what the function should look like. So now when we go back here, we can say that f is something that is generic over a reference to V instead, we still need the index. What now? Oh, you're right. Okay, so now all we have to do is hop back to our runtime. So attribute storage try remove should actually do a remove if ID, and then here we'll do and this is where it's gonna go a little bit crazy. So we're doing this. Well, I guess we could fix this here already, right? So we have the gen. We ignore the value, and then we say that the current. Whoops. And then we do the old deref here, right? And then we're dropping this value. Whoops. But we just changed this signature. So we have to do a little bit of a map here, okay? And we're gonna ignore the left-hand value. And we're gonna grab this map. And that also has to take the generation. So the insert function is not as simple. Well, I guess the attribute storage is fine. It doesn't need the generation. No, that's a lifetime for the blueprint. Hey, the code compiles. Look at us. All right, now are we past the first stage? Doddy, are you ready for this? Should we try it? Okay. Let's try Doddy's code and see if this has solved all our problems. No, it's not Doddy. Looking pretty damn good, Doddy. I like it. We're getting a little bit of a pause now and then. I don't know what that's from, but let's just run this in release mode. Doing some late night elixir. If you squint hard enough, maybe you can think of it as elixir. But why do we get like a pause in this? It's like it's running and then it's pausing every now and then. There's no reason why it should be doing that. So what we should do is we should make sure that this is that this is not just a... That pause, what's that all about? Gosh, connection. Oh no, it crashed for another reason. Yeah, and I'm wondering where the stuttering is coming from. Whoops. Oh man, I don't love that. All right, but we found another bug. All right, we just have to wait for it to crash. I know there's a resize bug as well that I have to look into. Yeah, it's single-threaded. Hello, Oscar. How are you going? Why is it not crashing now? There we go. Oof. So hopeful. So hopeful. Do you know what the pause is, Doddy? Do you know what that is? Can I fix that? Can I change that? Okay. This is my life project, Lazamat. That's fucking dark, man. Game doll. All right, let's do it. But we can't do classic because we already done that one. We have to go to unlimited. And oh, Mirror's Edge. Was there anyone who didn't see Mirror's Edge here? I had to wait for the column to start again. Check in the tick, line 131. Let's do it. Is this it? Oh, that is so much more easier for my brain to cope with. Yeah, I think most people in the chat knew that. Okay, so I kind of know where to deal with this thing though, right? But interestingly enough, the tick is happening. Why don't we just up the FPS? We need some of the sweet 120 FPS in the terminal, right? Yeah, I'll do this one first, Doddy. So this again, this is the same problem. There is some flaw in the logic where we are removing something that shouldn't be removed. And I thought with the attributes, we did our due diligence when we did our insert. So we only remove if the generations are matching. Actually, this is some dumbassery, so this should be id.gen. But you have no floating widgets. It's not part, well, it is part of components. This one is already taking generations into account. No, it's not the dodge. The dodge and remove is called dodge and remove because we're doing a search. We're scanning for this thing. So it's not this. If we get rid of this, all of this code. Well, we got rid of floating widgets now, but I don't think you have floating widgets. So I don't think this is the issue. Just gotta wait a few seconds for it to crash again. Yeah. So this is saying that every element has attributes, which means we have removed an element. We have removed an attribute that belongs to an element. But okay, this is why this is confusing. When you remove a widget, you remove a widget by its ID. The ID contains the generation. So it could be index 5, generation 3. Even if you have the index 5, you cannot remove anything if it's not the same generation. Maybe when we do an insert, maybe that's where it's falling flat. So let's go to insert. Yeah, I think this is it. This is probably... Well, no. This is just going to overwrite this thing. It's just going to overwrite. And overwriting is fine. You cannot have two IDs. You can't have two widget IDs with different generations in the same... Because they're backed by a vector. So this shouldn't be possible. Then it could be a case of ordering. Okay, let's read the logic for this thing and make sure that the logic here is sound. We get the value. If we find the value, we check if this is true, meaning that they match. If they're not, then we're going to return. So we never do the rest if the generations don't match. So it's not an issue with remove. I guess you could use save. Not sure how you would do it. Yes, but that's 4 GB, Doddy. We did not reach 4 GB. As a matter of fact, why don't we do some really stupid debugging here, okay? Where we do some horribly silly stuff, okay? Yeah, we can write it in here. I'm about to show you what not to do. What is it that we need? And then we're gonna finalize this with open. New. That's what we're missing. Right. So there is another thing we need. We need the, we don't care about read. We do care about write. We need to create if it does not exist. Okay, so that was redundant. Set this option to create a new file or open it if it already exists. Okay, so create true. Hello, DTL. Yeah, kind of, Yusef. We do, this is kind of gross. You shouldn't do this, but since we're taking over the terminal, we don't really have anything that we can do. It would be super cool if we could redirect standard out into a component. Shit, could we do that? No, of course not. Are you thick? If we did that, then we wouldn't render anything. All right. Hello, Bardadoo. How you doing? Okay. So we need to write into this file now. We're going to use the write. No, we're not. We're going to do file.write. As bytes. Like so. Okay, so now we just have to add what we're putting in here. Hello, Marek. How you going? You gotta keep it fresh, Marek. Right. Now, the problem with this is that it's going to output a lot. It's going to output a lot. All right then. Wow. Hello. Can you decipher this? Yes. I can. But this concerns me. Does it overflow in debug mode? No, this is U16 Max, right? Yeah, sorry, I'm just a little bit taken back by everything. You said long time no see, but you only have one message, 3 messages. So you use 16 max. The thing that I'm, it's the generation that is wrong here. That is the question. Oh, I know why. Because it's not wrapping. We are literally pushing that many messages in there. Okay. Wow. Fudge. Yeah, they need to cycle, right? They need to do a wrapping ad instead. It's not a biggie. I just didn't think we reached that generation that fast. That means that we pushed that many messages into the same one. Actually, that's not surprising at all. I don't know why this didn't occur to me. The generation is a U16, and it just needs to wrap. It just needs to wrap. No, we're not counting on integer overflow. We should be wrapping our integers, all right? We're not counting on it. But then why didn't it work in release mode? No, we just need to wrap it. This is a non-issue. We just need to wrap this. So if we get rid of the print that I added somewhere here, thank you so much for the cheer, Bear. I mean, if it is you, Bear, then like, can't you talk to me on Discord? There's a lot to unpack here, okay? Right? Can we just... Anyway. Right. So widget ID generation, adding to the generation needs to do a wrap. So wherever we bump the generation, we need to do so with a wrapping add. Yeah, release mode does it differently. It's doing a wrapping add. Okay. No, it's only 65,535 messages. And I guess that's not that much. So if we're generating 65,535 messages, we are doing this over a period of how many do we have? Well, it's going to be the height of this thing, which is 60 by 52, so it's going to be 52. So we're looking at 62. What did I say? 52. Divided by 52, right? Actually, it's not going to be divided by 52. It's going to be divided by 120. No, that's not right. We are doing a wrapping ad. Now, so if we're doing 50, it's going to be, since we're reusing the same value, right? All of these are going to be in the same range. Yeah. So this would maybe make more sense if we didn't print it, or rather if we did print it all in the same. Where did I put that bloody print now? Oh, okay, what? There we go. So widgets attributes. That's what we're doing the print. All right, so I took this out. We'll bring this back in again. Yeah, we just have to do a new line character in here. And we should now be able to see this a little bit better, maybe. Oh, hang on. That was not right. It's doubling it every time. So we start off at 0. Why is it okay? And then we move to 1. Then we move into 3 for some reason. Why? So it's index generation 0, 2, 4, 8, 11. Okay. Yeah. Some of these are not actual. Although that doesn't make any sense. So we should fit. Next line down should go to 1. It doesn't. There it is. Okay, so I'm guessing these are all the characters that we're printing, though. All right, now Tmux did not give us that. Okay, thank you, Tmux. Why are we doubling, though? This is very strange. It's not even that we're doubling, right? This could be a mistake that I've done with something else. So we go to 7. But we're not doing a wrap. I reckon that this bug would not have been found until a long time later if I hadn't done the mistake I've done. I think I made a mistake in the bit shifting. I think that's the issue. Yes, it's probably that. I mean, it looks like it, right? The way you see the numbers are incrementing. Then instead of adding, it's being shifted. Yeah, and that looks like it would be in a line with incorrect bit shifting. Yeah, and then 127, 255, right? Yeah. So on these numbers never go above though. So 161 is the biggest number we found so far. Yeah, we're never gonna go past 161. That's a good sign. We'll find 161 in here somewhere, I'm sure. It sure is. Yeah, this is a bit shifting issue. If I hadn't made that mistake, we would have never found this other bug. So for that reason, I'm happy that you have this issue, Dottie. Okay, so then let's have a look at the store. Not the widgets. Where's the generational stuff? All right. So it's gonna be in here somewhere, and I wonder. So when we do an insert, we're adding 1 to the generation. Is it getting or setting the generation? This one just resets the index. So this one sets it to 0. This one is not the problem. It just clears the bits that represents the generation. This should be fine. We're just shifting the bits down. Is it this thing that is wrong then? We're shifting the index bit all the way to the left. Yeah, we take the new generation and then we shift 48 bits to the left and then we just OR that. Is this the one that's causing the issue then? This one is also fine. So these two are okay. I think maybe set gen or bump is the issue here. All right, let's run a test for this thing. Double bump. Do we have one for the index? No, it's going to be key. Oh, now, does bumping this thing return a new one? It does, right? So this should now have, we should be able to assert that this thing is equal to index.gen, and you can grab the actual numerical value of that one. So it starts off 0, goes 1, 2, and 3. There it is. There it is. And deceptively enough, this will go from 0 to 1. So it will pass. And then this should be 2, but it's actually going to be 3, right? Found it. Okay. Right. So is this not clearing the old bits? Is that what it does? All right, we can look at this by just making... Actually, let's get rid of this thing. So if we start off with 0 values here, or 0, and we are just gonna print out what the bits looks like in... Is it 8? Is that the right one? No, the B cannot be there. Yeah. Okay, no, I want to do a binary print. Is it 0? It's like 08 or 80. All right, no, that was 80. And I want to prefix this with zeros. Man, I do not remember this thing. Let's just do a Rust format and have a look. Format args. Let's find binary. So B is for binary. If no format is specified in delete, then format is used to display. So colon B should show the bits, but we want to see a prefix, the padding. So, okay, so octothorpe, is it? Oh my god. Okay, so it's 034, so in our case 08. There we go. That's the binary. Okay, 3 would represent 11, right? 4, 5, 6 then. And then 7 is going to be all of them, the first ones. Right, so if we now were to shift these bits 3 bits to the left, right? Now we move them to the higher bits. And if we were to have a new value of 2, and we do bits 2, that's not right. I need to look at what we're actually doing there. Well, we're shifting everything to the left and then we're ORing the value. So it would be shifting everything to the left. Okay, so So we would have to actually make that into zeros then, right? So if we wanted this thing to output 1 0, no, 0 1 0 followed by 3 zeros, then we need the new value to be 0 1 0. Right, we need an equal sign in there. Hang on, we're shifting the bits. So we're really only dealing with the last bits. We're really only dealing with the last bits. Oh no, shit. There we go. Right, it doesn't do what I thought it would do. So I misread that. How do we clear it? Can we clear it and update it? It's like we need a mask on top of this. Yeah. So if we use, will this do it then? Not a lot, Crispy. Failing to sleep. Failing to find the carrot. Actually, this is thank you, Modprog. How you doing? This is the bits we want to clear. So I guess what we can do, we can either shift them left and right and then do this. No, we can't do this. This is doing the opposite. So we'd have to invert these values for this to work. Or is it, am I looking at this backwards? Should it be new bits maybe? No, that's the same result. But if we have some other bits set, we don't want to lose those. So if we wait a second. Okay, if we want to set the last 2 bits like that, we need to make sure there's U8s that we're dealing with as well. So this should leave those, yeah, so this leaves those set, right? It's a bit late to do laundry, Modprog, but I mean, if they don't say anything, you'll be fine. Okay, so is this gonna leave my lower values alone? It does. Yeah, but I guess you don't live in a block of flats. You have goats, man. Okay, so this is doing the inverse. So it's not XOR. We could just shift it and set it. Clear using XOR with the old value, then OR with what you want it to be. But then we could just clear it by shifting the whole thing left and right. Well, maybe you are. Not a lot. Sleep deprivation, the usual. So in this case, we actually we can do this, but before we do this, we need to clear the upper 4. And that is the right value. Yeah, but we need to clear this thing first. So we're gonna do bits 4 like that. I'm not sure. I don't know the precedence of this thing, so there you are. It looks like I'm missing one thing. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why are there only 6 values there? Okay, that's why. It was ignoring the first ones. So we're moving, and then I don't know why I put 3 here. That should clearly be 4, right? So we're gonna set the first bits, the first 3 bits. Then we're gonna move everything to the left, to this part of the byte. Okay, so that's right. We're now looking at the top 4 here, right? You spend them. We're looking at the top 4 values here, and now we're gonna replace them with just 1. But before we do that, we're gonna set the bottom 2 to 1 as well, and we do that here. So now the bottom 2 is set to 11, and we're gonna leave that as such. Now we're gonna have the new one, and in this case we're really just incrementing a number, but yeah, so this thing should now clear the bits. The high bits gets cleared, and the low bits gets moved up to the high bits and then back down again. So we should still have 11 there, right? Hello, carbs. Yes, now it is correct. Now this is correct. And what is it that I did? All right, I just ordered this. Okay, that is not right. So we need to first take self, move it to the left, self gen bits. Then we need to move it to the right, self gen bits again. All right, I don't know if we do need this or not, but we're gonna put it there. So now this should be 2, right? This should now be 3. Okay. Okay. All right, we got this. We got this now. Yeah, but I didn't want to announce it on the Discord. It's gonna be a short stream anyway. It's gonna be a short stream. All right, so we'll do a bump test. Although a bump test sounds like something different. Okay, if we now go back, well, actually, let's do this. Let's do an index.setGen, which means this has to be mutable. We're going to set the generation to U16 max. This should now be U16 max. Yes. And then this should now become 0. We're good. Okay. Doddy, I think we got it. I think we fixed the second bug now. All right. So if we run this thing now, yes, that's more like it. I'm not going to wait for the generation to wrap. We have a test for that. Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, Temporis. What a peculiar bug that was. And I reckon that the bump, that we're using bump in here somewhere. No, I never even wrote a test for it. Well, we can get to the next issue now, Doddy. I'm not going to wait for this to wrap around because I know from the test that it will. So let's get to the next issue. But first, we have to hide the... Whoops. Hide the cursor if we're going to look at this. We probably shouldn't run it at 120 FPS either, right? I don't know, Apollo. That seems weird. I'm just fixing bugs carbs in preparation for the release of this. There we go, thank you. Okay, so what's the column thing now, Doddy? Should we look at the column thing? I think... we're going to change this back to 30. What's a bit field, Crispy? Need to edit the templates. Is it the canvas, maybe? Ah, right. Wow. Yeah, that was not doing well. Even in... that is not doing well. Maybe it's time to add that performance fix soon. We don't need to do this part. So we end up with... so it's just drawing the same thing, right? We need to change this to something a lot smaller and see where it's falling flat. There we go. Yeah, it's just really slow. Yeah, it's not. So, probably not, Enrico. No, I can't. Okay. BTOP is not installed on this machine. So this is creating a list. So column. We can get rid of this now. We just do border and canvas widgets. So for every column, and then we do a glyph column there. This shouldn't be slow. No, we're this is hot reloadable. It is not compiled to Rust anything. This is all at runtime. Hot reload is a blessing, it really is. You have bit fields in Rust though, but as a crate. There's also unions, but that's not really. You can't really go below a byte there. Is there a Rust? Hey, you know what? We're not even gonna go there. Although I kind of want to see if there's a. I know you. It's not in the standard library, no. No, it's not in Rust. You sort of have some semi-dodgy way of doing it in Bevy, which is like using dynamic loading of libraries, but yeah, there is an actual Rust tutorial. Oh, hang on. Isn't this the one we looked at the other day that was so bad? Where they... What? Okay, let's find the macro part. Let's find the definition of a macro in here. And I kind of lost my marbles a little bit when I saw this. Rust provides powerful macro system that allows metaprogramming. As you see in the previous example, macros look like functions, except that the name ends with a bang. But instead of generating a function call, macros are expanded into source code that gets compiled with the rest of the program. Therefore, they provide more runtime features to a program, unlike functions. Macros are an extended version of functions, and this is where I lost it. Macros are an extended version of... Did you know this, Modprog? You spend a lot of time with macros. Did you know the macros are just an extended version of functions? Okay. But why is this slow? Oh, most sentences there are bad. Oh, is it? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Oh, hang on. Rust provides a powerful macro system that allows metaprogramming. Rust provides a powerful macro system that allows metaprogramming. As you have seen in the previous example, as you've seen in the previous chapter, macros look like functions. Macros look like functions. Except that the name ends with a bang. Except that the name ends with a bang. This is pretty damn low. This is just, you've done nothing. You've added no value. Oh yeah, no, except that Rust macros are expanded into AST rather than string preprocessing. No, you took that out and then you wrote macros are an extended version of functions. What? That is why everything up to the last two sentences sounds reasonable. But it's just, this is just shit. This is a straight up copy and paste jobby. This is just copying, right? If they have some kind of copyright thing in here, it's a bad copy and paste. Copyright 2024, all rights. Sorry, what? Man, that's just straight up scummy. Yeah, it would have. I mean, you're not you're not adding anything new. You're taking something that made sense and then you made less sense of it. Okay, but this thing is throwing me a little bit. Why is this so slow? I still think that this is plagiarism, what they've done. They're not adding anything, but they could have left like a source, Rust by examples, but I don't know if Rust by examples are mentioned anywhere in here. Discuss Rust. By now, you are seriously taking the piss now. Useful books. I bet they don't even link to Rust by example then. This book is the worst Rust book I have ever read. No, it isn't, but it's close to. I own a copy of this book and it is terrible. They have 3 packed books in there. Yeah, it speaks volumes. I bet, and it's there, probably there, like, shitty. Man, this pissed me off, right? No, fair enough. Have you written a book, Carbs? Yeah. How's it going, VFX? Yeah. To enlist your site in this page, drop an email to contact@tutorialspoint.com. All right, we have a lot of authors in the chat then, right? This is the official book. This is a paper copy of TLP, the Rust programming language, TLPL, right? We should send a link to togglebit-live. Yeah. Where did you see the Rust by example is MIT license though? How do you know that this is MIT? Apache MIT license, yeah. 10 years ago. It'd be funny if this is wrong now. Oh, is Rust by example part of... no, you have to use MDBook, right? Yeah, I agree. That's pretty bad. Okay, anyway, right. That was a detour. So why is this slow, right? Why is this slow? How big is the tree after we generate this? All right, I guess what we could do, this would be a candidate for some flame graph, maybe. All right, then. Well, this is the sort function for the components. So if we skip that one, all right, which obviously we can't, but oh, hang on, how many components do we have in there? Hello, Grassham. Oh, could that be? Could it be? All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a crime over here. We're just gonna return here. So this becomes a no-op. Yeah, that's quite a big difference there, okay? That's quite a big difference. Who would have thought that's the one that was gonna kill it, right? The flipping sort function. Okay. All right, is this thing actually runnable now? It's a little bit sketchy, but look at this. Let's compare this to reintroducing the sort function, okay? Look at this compared to this. You think the sort function is a bit expensive, maybe? Oh. So this is why this is why the canvas widget is better for this, Doddy, but what happens if we were to... Okay, I'm gonna make it even worse now. All right, this is with the sort function enable. And we take the sort function out. Yeah. I mean, this thing runs fine without the sort function. Okay, we have a couple of things we can do. Fixed. Fixed. All right. So what happens is we set dirty to true. Every time we go to access this thing, we sorted it. This is fine now. And we never set dirty to false. So even though we had no reason to, yeah, I'd imagine this thing just looked terrible for you guys, but it's the difference between 3 FPS and a lot else. I can't really... Well, maybe on YouTube it looks better. Why would a particular color be hard for stream encoders? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I don't understand why green would have a particular meaning for that. Yeah, maybe you guys can't see this, but okay, so we can push into the bug fix. At least, Doddy, you'll be able to see this on your end once I push the fix. So, okay, let's see what the flame graph looks like though, right? So these two are similar. This is where we removed, right? This is where we called the sort function every time we accessed a component. And Doddy, your code has revealed so many ridiculous bugs. Okay, I'm really happy about this. This would have been just a performance drain sitting there like a lemon. This is when we disable the sort function. And this is when we fix the sort function. These two flame graphs are almost identical. So now that function is really cheap. Real life use cases are a must. Toad's right. So now what we're paying for is update tree. We have this with mute, which is the next expensive thing. But this one we can't do anything about. We need this to sort the tree, right? Yeah, I'm happy about it, Doddy. I'm happy about it. we can't get away from this function. This function happens on every single widget. There's no two ways about it, right? That I also caused though, Skylar, but at a different date, so it's not as relevant. Okay. So there is a big chunk of performance that I have intentionally left on the table, right? And that is documented in here. So we have to do some updates, but they shouldn't be impossible. But we're touching every node in the tree, even though we don't have to. We're doing layouts that don't need to happen. I need to think about this more, but this is going to be the thing that boosts performance even more. But there hasn't been a need for it yet. I know that sounds dumb, but we want to get all the unknown bits out first, then we can start for this. So dodgy remove isn't even appearing on here, I don't think. Can we search? All right, it's down here in the corner. We can fix this thing, but this is not the bottleneck. This is the bottleneck and the layouts and the paint, and these ones are already there, right? So what we actually end up with though is a pretty large widget tree. If we look at what we're doing, we end up with a massive widget tree. We got 122 by 57. Okay. Wait, are we still running that? Oh, yes. Oh my God. Okay. We're doing so much stuff that we don't have to do. Okay, let's get rid of that too. That's another performance boost, but that one is really just from dumbassery, okay? Okay? It's this thing here, like this debug thing. That's not worth mentioning, okay? And there we go. I wonder how this looks in... Yeah, in debug mode, it's a bit slow. That's... okay. Again, sorry, you guys can't see this, but this thing is fast here. Very good, Pepper. Very good. Okay. So, all right, let's put it through Flame Graph again, right? I know you guys love looking at this thing and having the stream go a little bit bananas, but let's just have the Flame Graph going for a few seconds. Yeah, I'd imagine that the camera starts like pixelating and getting all a bit funky, right? Okay, let's compare these two. There isn't really that much going on here. There isn't a significant change. Well, there is some. We lost a little bit of that. Can we see where that function was? It was in widgets. I know I took it out, so no, we can't see where that was. Where in the widgets did I have that function? Doing all right, Ibradev. Squeezing out some performance here. But I'm trying to figure out where I just added some really dumb code, or I took out some really dumb code, and I'm trying to figure out where I added that. Was it in the attributes thing? Widget attributes. Was it in here? I don't know. It was here in the set code, wasn't it? I think it was in the set code. No, it wasn't. It was in the attributes. It's not attributes. It was the attribute storage. Insert. Here is where we had that, right? So let's see if the insert is in here anywhere. So let's search for insert here. Yes. Okay. Attribute storage is insert is there. Okay, so it looks like it's still here though. Slab insert, attribute storage insert. Oh no, no. It's gone. We don't even see. Oh, here it is. Here it is. No. No, we can't even find attribute storage in here. Because it's so small. Because this thing was opening a file and writing to it. Yeah, it's nice, Ibradev. So we started here, where this thing was basically tanking the entire application. I don't know, we haven't spent a lot of time, but we have got a lot of performance out of there already. That one is nonsensical now. Then after this, we went here. Then I had left this in by accident. And I don't think we're even going to find, if we do a search for attribute storage, insert. No. Really? Attribute storage insert. Can we just do attribute storage? All right, there we go. So we'll search for that here as well. I can't even see it. And this thing doesn't say whether it finds it or not. But yeah, it's not there. It is pretty cute, Ibradev. Okay. Why not? All right, so what's next then? We fixed the bugs. We have the dodgy remove. How's it going again? I don't even think the dodgy remove is going to show up here. It's there. We can probably fix this one. It's not big, but it is present. There's no harm in getting rid of it. This thing, I'm hoping we can get rid of this. Well, not get rid of it. Reduce the amount of calls to this, though. And subsequently this. But to remove this entire block, or to reduce this entire block, we need to do that optimization. But we're going to wait with that. How the flame graph work? Well, it measures the amount of time you spend in a function. And since this function, we're spending all our time in this run function, and then it's distributed between these functions, right? So in our case, we know that what we're doing is a runtime, right? Or a run loop that does a lot of work. Since we know that there's no thread sleeping or anything in here that's going to offset anything, even though there is some sleeping in there, right? But there's nothing in here that's really going to offset that. So we just, in this program, in this example, we want to spend as evenly distributed amount of time as possible with all of these things. This guy doesn't take a lot of time. This with value mute is pretty good. This is the biggest one, and we're going to fix this thing, which subsequently will lower this as well, right? But that's kind of what you're looking at. If you want to know more information, you have like different metrics you can look at. You can look at a call count as well to see how many times a function is called. But these are all samples, right? They are not entirely 100% accurate though, right? Okay. Some white paint on my table. Yes, this is single threaded. Yeah, I'm gonna take off as well. Let's see who's streaming. I need to go and read and brain a little bit and deal. Henry is on. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any Rust in there. I see React. That's almost the same thing, but it's in Spanish, so. I see Canada. That's almost English. Steam, stop emailing me all the time, man. Nobody wants that. Slack, Jump King. Yeah, that one's fine. Email. That was good. Sorry for sitting here waiting. You guys have to watch me read my email on my phone. It's not even a phone, it's a watch. We'll raid Henry. We raided Henry yesterday, but we'll raid Henry again. Burning the midnight oil. Right. I'll be back tomorrow, maybe, if I'm feeling sensible, and we'll crack on with this stuff. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to pick something to work at, but we have solved most of the performance issues. So yeah, see you when I see you. Bye for now.